I'm traveling this week, but I have a fun case about wine, counterfeit wine, and apparently Shakespeare, and I'll tell you more after this.
I do. I know a fair amount about fine food and drink. This is a white.
The judge clearly had fun with this case, because in the very line of the opinion, he quotes Shakespeare, and he says, "O thou invisible spirit of wine, if thou hast no name to be known by, let us call you the devil," quoting Shakespeare, Othello. I'm back in my office, so let me jump straight into the facts of this case. David Doyle is a billionaire who owns a lot of wine. Since 2007, he has insured his wine collection with valuable possessions insurance policy, valued at $19 million. Since that time, he has purchased a lot of wine. We're talking about $18 million worth of wine, which is roughly 1,600 bottles. Unfortunately, David Doyle was purchasing this wine from Rudy Kurniawan, who apparently was filling empty bottles with his own wine blend and putting counterfeit fake labels on the bottles. So Mr. Kurniawan goes to prison for 10 years for fraud, and Mr. Doyle is stuck with this wine that essentially has no value at all. Mr. Doyle files a claim with his insurance company for the losses he sustained due to the fraud. The insurance company denies his claim, and he sues. In court, Mr. Doyle argues that he has insured his covered property for all direct and accidental loss. Meantime, the insurance company says that the wine is now in the same condition as it was when he first insured it. That maybe he has suffered financial loss, but he has not suffered loss to his property. Wine is still wine.
Cargo? Salad. Will Monsieur care for another bottle of the Chateau Latour?
Yes, but no more 1966. Let's splurge. Bring us some fresh wine, the freshest you've got. This year's, no more of this old stuff.
Oui, monsieur.
He doesn't realize he's dealing with sophisticated people.
Here's what the court says. Given that this is a property insurance, Mr. Doyle first has to show that there has been a physical loss or damage to the property. Merely detrimental economic loss to the property will not trigger this insurance without first showing the damage to the property physically. When it comes to property insurance, a reduction in value is not a covered peril. Instead, it is simply a measure of loss. So in this situation, Mr. Doyle is out $18 million. His wine is not covered because it has been reduced in value, but there has really been no damage to the actual wine. The court ends the opinion with a piece of advice. And once again, for some reason, they quote Shakespeare. "The robbed that smiles steals something from the thief." But I'll give you a better advice. Call your attorney and go over the terms of your insurance policy. This way you know what's covered is actually covered. And if you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel.